This is Sam Sulek. He's been blowing up in the fitness world over the past couple months. You may be wondering, where did this person even come from? If you recognize his face, you probably came from a TikTok video about how he was scared of talking to girls or that his mom had to pick him up from the gym. Something totally random. But this is not by accident. You see, Sam has won the hearts of many in the US, and those meme accounts are actually from fans. But with all this power comes great responsibility, and the fitness community by and large is against what Sam is doing. They criticize his ego lifting and his insane diet. Sam goes out to eat probably almost every meal. It's insane. And many are concerned about Sam's steroid usage, both in the fact that it's negatively impacting his health and is not being a great influence to other people. But I think Sam is a little bit deeper than people make him out to be. That's why today we're doing a deep dive on Sam and really getting to the bottom of what this is all about here on The Science of Winning. I thought it'd be nice to format this video like Sam does. So we're gonna go to the gym, work out for a little bit, and then we're gonna come back. We might change the video format to this to be all the time. I'm just kidding. That's, I mean, the consistency would be there, but still. Sorry my car's so loud. I also have my mic where Sam's mic is usually. His is cooler because this is a little more flat than mine. But, guys, even just doing this, I'm getting so many looks. When I pulled over, there was someone just like, just staring. People are, they want to know what's up. I mean, this is a courthouse, so maybe they think I'm trying to beat a case or something. And if that's the case, then, you know, they can stare all they want. The thing that strikes me about Sam is there's a book by two Harvard professors called Compelling People. Stay with me, guys. In the book, it talks about people that portray strength and portray warmth. And the more quote unquote compelling you are, the more you are able to have both these traits in unison. He does such a good job at obviously compelling straight. I mean, just look at the guy. Like, he's built like, he probably weighs the same as like a Ford Focus, if we're being honest. But he's not built like one, if you know what I mean. He's like the aerodynamics of a Ram truck with the actual weight of a Ford Focus. That makes sense. So that's, ooh, this is weird. Guys, we're on this cool little street right now. Oh, we're just, I love when a car's like in the perfect spot to like not go. Like you're looking for it and then it's just like, oh, they're just like in that spot of like approaching. It's like, no, it's not. Go for it, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh, great heavens. Guys, come back. Guys. Wow. Guys, we risked it all. Wow, this is kind of dangerous. Sam is risking his life for content. But like I was saying, it's interesting having, I think that's part of the reason why he's done so well, is he's maintained that principle of projecting strength and warmth. And I think he's doing it unknowingly. Him just coming from the Midwest makes him very relatable. And this is obvious, guys. If you just watch a video of him, it's obvious that just him talking with the camera is very genuine. It's very, I don't know, it's like you're talking to, listening to a friend. And I think that goes a long way. I mean, even look at the current, I don't want to talk too much about it. It's kind of a hot button issue. Even just a problem of male loneliness, if you can call it that. Just having someone like Sam as not only a role model, but also relatable. I mean, this is someone that's in college, he's taking classes, he's going to the gym every day. Like someone that's millions of Americans can relate to. And the fact that he's just jacked out of his mind, it kind of gives that other element of him being a role model. So I think that's really interesting to kind of see him in that and be able to influence people. But I think a lot of people are wondering whether that influence is good or bad. There's tons of other fitness YouTubers that have made videos about him just in terms of, is he actually a good influence? And I see their point. A lot of them talk about with what he's eating, he doesn't have the best diet, and obviously he's also using steroids, which, I mean, that's totally personal choice. At least he's open about it, which I think is good, instead of trying to liver king that sucker, that issue for a while. So anyway, people are concerned that his crazy diet is affecting the youth, if that makes sense. It is affecting, it is absolutely ravaging. That's such a weird word. I hate that word. The youth of America. And I think that's kind of a knack on people saying, oh, okay, the average person can't, think for themselves. I'm sure a lot of you are waiting. I just totally spit. I'm sure a lot of you are waiting for me to move that over. I don't know if I'm just going to keep everything in this video and just upload it like this, because this is very different for me. Like, even just the thought process before I finish the influence thought, you really got to be comfortable with not only just the camera, but I don't know, just to be talking to a camera for this long, no cuts, it's like a different muscle. It's just kind of weird. I'm used to like super fast, maybe I'll make more videos like this where it's more, a little bit slower pace, where I feel like we can really get into I don't know, I feel like you can really go somewhere if you have a little bit more time and it's not as paying so much attention to the edit. Oh, I didn't want to risk it, Anyway, back to what I was saying with his whole influence. Make sure the mic's still on my hat. It looks so dumb. There was a comment that I thought was insightful in one of those videos. He's like, hey, you guys are just kind of talking crap because it's going to do well on YouTube. And you're like, you guys are just running out of ideas for content. And so you had to pick on Sam. And like, that kind of makes sense. I mean, I'm sure that was definitely some of the reasoning behind some of those videos. And maybe even this one. How meta is that? Wow. Full circle. I love that. I love just like breaking the fourth wall like that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's just, it's interesting. The whole like authenticity, being yourself, it really works. It's such like a unique like strategy for winning, if we want to even call it that. In the fitness space, I mean, that's working right now. I mean, look at Lean Beef Patty. Like, as I made a documentary about her before, like, she's weird, and she's like, you can tell she's not trying to pretend to be weird, she just kind of is. But it's like the same thing I was saying with Lean Beef Patty, of like, she's projecting a lot of strength and warmth by having the physique or end product that people want, and also the personality. I mean, Sam's doing the same thing. But in his own way. But that strategy is working. I mean, if you're a young, like, YUNG influencer, that sounds weird. Fitness influencer specifically, going from TikTok, finding your tribe. That's important, is finding those initial adopters. The reason that Sam even blew up, the reason he came up in my feed was someone made a joke about him being like too scared to talk to a girl at the gym. And I was like, what? Like, who, like, did the guy in the video make this about himself? And I was like, that's pretty meta. First off, it'd be pretty meta if he did, but I don't think he did. It was like one of his fan accounts. And I was like, what? Like, who's this? So when you have that much of like an initial tribe to start making content about you, I mean, this is what Andrew Tate did. I mean, hate it or love it. Shout out anyone that knows that song by The Game. I don't even know if The Game's still alive. He's a rapper. That song's gonna be stuck in my head. I'm gonna listen to that at the gym. I think 50 Cent featured on it. Anyway, the whole having other people spread your message is just like, it's working. It's almost like an affiliate type thing. But I think Andrew Tate kind of paved the way in that regard, just in terms of like mechanics. I know some people out there, he's a very polarizing figure, and I think Sam also has a bit of polarity to him. I mean, just the fact, eating all that junk food and like ego lifting, that's another big thing. If he didn't have those elements like within his brand, then I think arguably it'd be less potent, because there'd be kind of like less to kind of latch onto, you know what I mean? So it's kind of part of his primal branding blueprint, if you want to say that. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're trying to turn. I'm sorry. He's driving too slow for me to let him in. It's like driving anxiety. Oh my gosh. It's good to have your cortisol levels high in the morning. That's what I heard. And then they slowly creep down through the day. But with that spike of cortisol that I just had with that Texas driver, I mean, we're pushing. It's going to take me an extra 10 minutes to go to bed. So that's, I wonder if some people are like that. That'd be insane. That's why we have that unbreakable mindset. And guys, we are at the gym. Wow, that kind of flew by. It's kind of nice just talking to the camera. We almost died on the way here, but we survived. We did our thing. I hope you guys forgive again my loud power steering that is leaking, but that's okay. It's amazing. There can still be something wrong, and you can still get to where you're going. So look at that. I'll see you guys in the gym. If I say hi. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, I was a little too embarrassed to pull up the gym with my camera out, loud and proud. So we're gonna do this. I don't know if I'm gonna actually do a transition there, but here's Sam Sulek, or Sam Sulek, depending on how you pronounce his name. It's interesting to see him in his environment. Some of the biggest videos right now are actually just reactions, people's reactions to Sam Sulek when he squats or when he's just in the gym. In fact, there's compilation videos about just his interactions with strangers. I mean, people find that amusing. And like I was saying before, the videos that do the best for him are where he just talks the most. In his food videos, or just sitting down and talking with the viewer. It is that relationship that you really can't fake. And even just in the interaction he has with fans when they show up and actually talk to him, you can sense that it's genuine, that they actually really do care about Sam, as opposed to just like, oh my gosh, this is a celebrity. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, this is like someone that I know. So it's a little bit different than maybe someone meeting, I don't want to name names, but someone else, maybe Justin Bieber. The interesting thing about Sam's content is when he's bringing you throughout his workout, throughout his day, he really drips the most important parts of his content. For instance, even him just using a bumper plate when he squats and him explaining it helps him get a deeper squat as well as just a better range of motion. I kind of use that for myself and I enjoyed using that little tip. So it's nice getting content where you feel like the person that's making the video, like you're connecting with them on a deeper level and you're getting tips from them. So that's a double-edged sword. That's why this content is so different. Woo! Alrighty, gang. Well, we just finished our workout and I was way too nervous to film it all. So I don't know how Sam does it. He has a lot of courage, that man. Joking and not joking aside, I was thinking about this as I was just kind of working out. There's such a realness to his videos. I mean, even just watching some, they don't have any music. There's like hardly any editing, which I mean, from like a business standpoint, makes it easier for you to be consistent because you can just essentially upload whatever you film. And you know, Sam already having the discipline to go to the gym and do all that, just bringing a camera along wasn't that much more tough. So I feel like that really builds him and especially other fitness influencers for success when it comes to consistent content creation. It is like a different strategy versus like the Mr. Beast route, but even that Mr. Beast is filming at least once a week now. So I don't know, I think it just goes to show some of that consistency there is critical. And you could argue this is like a long, like kind of an awkward intersection here. You could argue that for you know, just about anything about consistency, but that's kind of what I like about the fitness influencers is I really feel like, oh, is this guy turning? Just get smoked by that Dodge Caravan. That's what I like about fitness influencers is they're so, being disciplined is, I feel like is so second nature for them because they just do it at the gym all the time and they like kind of love doing that. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm gonna turn my blinker off so it's not super annoying. I'm curious to see if other people follow the path of kind of like follow the Sam Sulek like marketing path. Because with Lean Beef Patty, she kind of did the same thing with finding success on TikTok and then kind of merging that audience over to YouTube. I find the creators that are able to do that the best. I have some friends in the TikTok arena and they get millions of views on TikTok like per video. But if it's not built around like you as a person, if it's more about the thing than about you, then it's usually harder to bring the audience quote unquote over to another platform, which I find really interesting. Even thinking for us, you know, do we think about using TikTok more or doing the YouTube route? I do have experience, like I've kind of seen like a different side of YouTube, which is why I feel like I have a bit of a advantage there. If I edit like I normally do, my edits aren't that great, but I think they're not where they need to be for like Mr. Beast or something like that, or like Mac, he was Eric's right hand man. He split off, he made his own channel, and then now he's working for Mr. Beast as an editor there. He's almost like the Tyreek Hill of YouTube. He's like kind of like what's quote unquote hot right now. All right, we're gonna do a U-turn. We're gonna see if this is gonna work. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. But again, like think of the thing that I love about like the simplicity of his editing style is it adds to his brand. if that makes sense. Like Mr. Beast, if Mr. Beast put a video out like that, the Sam Sulek-esque, I knew it, I knew this lane was ending, then it just wouldn't resonate, it wouldn't hit, you know? And people really like that. I mean, yeah, going back to what I was saying about, it's funny just like thinking about, even as Sam doing this, like just recording in your car, like there's literally someone right behind me that's probably staring at the camera too. But if you think about, I don't know, I guess that's just part of the influencer culture, especially filming in a gym. But obviously Sam's very comfortable in that environment, so it's a little bit different. But like this forces you, really, if you do this every day, to build a relationship, a deeper connection with your audience. I mean, like you can only quote unquote script so much, especially if you're doing it like almost every day. There's only so much that you can like prepare for and prep. And then after a while, it's like, all right, like there's nothing quote unquote planned for me to say. It's not scripted. It's like, this is just what's on my mind, and this is what we're talking about. And I think YouTube is it's going back in a lot of ways. There's a lot of people that have said this, where YouTube is kind of not devolving, but it's going back to more of the Casey Neistat type vlog videos. I'm so not sure about this lane here. Like the Casey Neistat type vlog videos. I think we're gonna see a lot more of that, even with thumbnails now. In the YouTube world, they say that, I was just at a conference with Mr. Beast and all that, but thumbnails are going towards more realistic, more screen grabs. This is just like a screenshot of the actual video, as opposed to something that looks like a kid's coloring book, like my first thumbnail. Okay, I feel like everyone's got to do it once, you know. So I feel like there's a need, there's a demand for authenticity in general. And I think within the fitness world, Sam's like approach, his resonance, dare you say, is what lands with people, and it's working for him. So he's gonna keep doing that. Now I don't know how long. Obviously that won't work forever. I mean, just remember Casey Neistat. I mean, he was doing his vlogs, and he was like Casey Neistat was like, what's that song, Hot Boy by, it's like Narwick, whatever, like I'm a hot boy. Like that was him every day. Like wakes up, like that's the alarm clock. Like he's chilling, like that's the song in the back of his head, because like he's like the stuff. He's that guy. He is him. He's what do people say? They're like Himothy. I don't like that word. Someone said that recently, unironically, and it was like just did not land well. I think it was not Neo. Someone that hangs out with Jack Doherty. That guy's wild. But there's a need for authenticity, and the people that are able to, I mean, just like looking at it from a business perspective, I mean, this is kind of oof, but there's a demand in the marketplace, and you supply the demand. But it's like a mixture of that, and then a mixture of people want a best friend, you know? It's funny because for someone like Sam, that works so well. Like, because it's almost like Sam's playing a game. Oh my gosh. I'm obsessed with this. Jordan Peterson talks about this. He talks about, because in the 21st century, there's essentially, in terms of the commercial, like vocational, occupational world. Oh shoot. Is this my turn? All right, guys, no joke. All right, yep. I should be past right now. That's funny. I'm at the same time. This is dangerous, guys. Sam's just risking it every day. Well, there's so many, as I was saying, dominance hierarchies. So think of like 100 years ago. There's only so many games in the modern world. Maybe, what was it, 1920s ish. All right, guys, I'm lost. Guys, I just moved to a new city, and I'm driving back home from the gym. I haven't been this way before, but guys, I am lost right now, which is rare for me. I kind of pride myself on being like spatially oriented, but this is like not what I'm used to. Anyway, dominance hierarchies. Think of the 1920s. Think of there's only so many things you can do. Like you can be like middleman. This is like brutally. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm looking around to like look for cues. I didn't want to have the GPS going on here because it would be like kind of loud. Anyway, the occupations you could do 100 years ago, there's only so many. Occupations you can do now, like you can make this lady made millions of dollars selling this coloring book cube because of the internet. Like, you can't, oh my gosh. Guys, I'm so lost. All right, this is bad. All right, this is like pull over time. Man, I'm on a train of thought though. I'm just gonna turn in here. We get robbed. POV about to get robbed. You can't do that. Like, selling a coloring book or like this color cube for millions of dollars within a couple months. You couldn't do that 100 years ago. But with YouTube, with the internet, like, I know everyone talks about that, but like, you can kind of, oh my gosh. Guys, we did it. I'm in the right spot. Let's go. Wow, guys, you just gotta have faith in yourself. Or just use the GPS. The power of the internet, look at that. Look at that weird segue. What I'm trying to say is, with Sam Sulek, he is playing the game in a way where you really can't beat him. I mean, if someone, you can't like rip him off, you know what I mean? Because if you're like just as huge as Sam, which, like, think of the subset of people that are, and then even people that would be more YouTube-esque, be more charismatic, like, they would ultimately, they wouldn't do as well. Because as soon as you're more like, quote unquote, YouTube-esque, then you kind of lose that authenticity, you know? So Sam is playing a game that he can win. And you guys should ask yourself, if there was only one game that you could play and you had to be the best in the world at it, what game would that be? Like, if you had to bend the rules and create a game in such a way where only you could play it and only you could win, what would that game be? And I think that's the takeaway from Sam Sulek, is whether he knows it or not, he's built the environment and he's created a game that only he can win. So what's that game for you? Be thinking about that this week. Thank you guys so much. Hit that subscribe button if you're you want to see me keep doing this. If you want us to keep having these combos, let me know if this is like a good style that you guys want. Love y'all. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.